Hi, welcome back to Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered. Okay, before we get into today's story, can we just take a moment? Last week's episode, I Hate Being a Pharmacy Tech Now What, went off. Like record-breaking views in the first 24 hours. And the two shorts I posted with it? Around 3,000 views on YouTube alone. I mean, are we going viral or what? Now, here's the real question. Was it the story? The truth bombs? Or was it the fact that my face wasn't in it? Like, is that the secret sauce? If you secretly prefer the faceless episodes, it's okay, you can tell me. No hard feelings. Just blink twice or leave a comment that says, audio girly for life. But seriously, this podcast isn't just me talking at you. It's a space for you. So if there is a vibe you're loving or something you want more of, just say the word. I'll adjust. Wish granted. Today's episode is a special one and honestly, kind of heavy. It's based on an anonymous submission that came through my Google form, which by the way is always open. Links in the description and on all my socials. It's about a pharmacy tech who shares how they got manipulated into staying at a toxic job, despite having a better offer, and now feel stuck, burnt out, and desperate to leave. Sound familiar? Let's get into it. Here is what it said. I work in a retail pharmacy with a pharmacy owner that purchased the business from her father. She's next level rude and narcissistic and makes derogatory comments constantly. I had been looking for a new job and landed an interview with Walgreens in a town local to me with more money and better benefits. I went in the next day to put my notice in, and she blackmailed me into staying. I'm 2 months past what should have been my last day, and I hate it. I hate this job. I'm burnt out. I'm tired of the abuse. Does it ever get better? How can I leave? I wish people knew how much we put up with. All of the comments we hear and stats we have to meet. We are treated like robots, not people. Let's breathe after that. Because if this is you, or feels like it could be, you're not alone. Let's go piece by piece, not to overanalyze, but to understand what's actually happening beneath the surface. Because when we can name it, we can start to change it. I work in a retail pharmacy with a pharmacy owner that purchased the business from her father. That one sentence already tells me so much. Because when someone inherits a business, especially from family, it's not just about running the place. It's about legacy, image, pressure, maybe even proving something to a parent that's no longer around. And all that unspoken weight, it leaks into everything. Suddenly, this person's not just a boss. They are someone trying to live up to a name. And often, that pressure doesn't make people kind. It makes them rigid, controlling, hyper-aware of how things look, defensive, even when no one's attacking. And who gets the burn of that? The staff, the techs, you. You're not just dealing with a job anymore. You are managing someone else's insecurities. And let me say this gently but clearly. That's not your job. What I want you to notice, really notice, is how you behave around this kind of person. Do you feel yourself shrinking, holding your breath, editing your words to keep them calm? Because that's not professionalism. That's survival mode. And that's exhausting. If you find yourself constantly bending to make someone else feel secure in their inherited power, I want you to hear this. It's not your job to cushion someone's ego so they can feel big. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to expect decency. And if someone's title makes them feel like they can chip away at your dignity, you don't owe them your silence. She's the next level rude and narcissistic and makes derogatory comments constantly. This is the part where your nervous system goes on high alert every single shift. Because being around someone unpredictable, mean, or demeaning, it creates a trauma response. You don't know what version of them you're going to get. Are they going to ignore you today, lash out, micromanage you to death, or pretend nothing ever happened? And when you describe her as next level rude and narcissistic, that's not just venting. That's your survival brain waving a red flag. Because in environments like this, your body learns to stay tense. You are not just doing your job, you are scanning the danger. You're adjusting your tone, your posture, your breathing. You're asking yourself, how do I stay invisible today so I don't become her target? Here is a tool that sounds simple, but changes everything. Start tracking these moments in a journal, in your notes app, on a voice memo on the drive home, not to revenge, for validation. Because when you are deep in it, it's easy to gaslight yourself into thinking, maybe I'm being too sensitive, or maybe that's not that bad. But when you lay it all out, date by date, moment by moment, you start seeing the pattern. You see how consistent the disrespect is. And suddenly, it becomes a lot harder to lie to yourself about it. Pro tip: give the file a name that makes you feel grounded. Something like my sanity log or proof I'm not crazy. That way, every time you open it, you are reminded you are not the problem. You are just finally seeing it clearly. And if this already hit you in the gut, stick with me. We are just getting started. Because the next line, it's where the manipulation gets real. I had been looking for a new job and landed an interview at Walgreens. More money and better benefits. This is where the clouds parted for a second. You saw the light. You took a step. And let's pause here because that matters. So many people get stuck at the thinking stage. I should start applying. I might look around next week. But you moved. You followed through. You showed up for that interview. And the universe responded with something better. Better money, better benefits, closer to home. That's not just luck. That's alignment. But then I went in the next day to put my notice in, and she blackmailed me into staying. Let's sit with this part, because that's not a small word, blackmail. And I know some people might say, well, that's dramatic. But if you've ever been in a situation like this, you know it's not. Because blackmail doesn't always show up like a movie villain. It sounds like guilt trips. How could you do this to the team right now? It sounds like threats. If you leave now, don't bother using me as a reference. It sounds like manipulation, wrapped in fake concern. You've been doing so well lately. Things are about to get better. Don't throw that away. What's really happening? She saw your strength and panicked. Losing you meant losing control. So she reached for whatever would keep you in place. Your loyalty, your fear of being the bad guy, your tendency to put others first. Look, I get it. When someone hits you with all that in a moment where you were just trying to honor your decision, your body freezes. You start second guessing. You walk out of that conversation thinking, maybe I'm just being selfish. Maybe I should stay a little longer. But let me say that clearly. That wasn't you being selfish. That was you finally choosing yourself. And someone else tried to talk you out of it. So here is a phrase to keep in your back pocket for the next time, or for the goodbye letter you rewrite when you're finally ready. I've already made a commitment to myself and accepted another offer. I wish you and the team the best, but this is final. No justifying, no apologizing, just truth. Say it in the mirror. Say it on your lunch break. Say it 20 times until it stops making your voice shake. Because that's how you train your nervous system to believe, I can set a boundary and survive it. More than survive it, you can thrive on the other side. Now, let's talk about what happens when you stay longer than you were ever meant to. Because that last part, I'm 2 months past what should have been my last day, that line carries more weight than you think. I'm 2 months past what should have been my last day, and I hate it. That line, that one's heavy. Because what it really says is, I crossed my own boundary. I told myself I was done. And now I wake up every day still here. That's not just frustration, that's grief. Every shift past that last day feels like another tiny betrayal. To your gut, to your future, to that brave version of you who sat through that interview and said, I'm ready. So let me say this with love and clarity. You haven't failed. You are not weak. You are scared and you are stuck. And that is one of the most human places to be. But here is the reframe I want you to try on. You didn't stay. You paused. And now you are pressing play again. I hate this job. I'm burnt out. I'm tired of the abuse. This isn't a complaint. This is a signal flare. Because once you say the word abuse, you are no longer talking about toughing it out, or riding the wave, or just being grateful to have a job. We are talking about survival mode. And survival mode is not a place you build your life from. It's a place you escape from. Now, escape doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't have to be a midday walkout or a fiery speech. Sometimes it starts quietly. Here is how you begin your quiet exit plan, like a mission. Update your resume. Even if you haven't looked at it in years, touching it is reclaiming your future. Reconnect with Walgreens. Or check other jobs. Ask a friend if their hospital is hiring. Get curious again. Write your resignation letter. Don't send it yet, but write it. See your own words on paper. Start imagining your life after this job. What does your morning look like? Your lunch break? Your energy? Because here is the truth. Your brain needs something new to picture. Right now, all it sees is trapped. But when you shift from trapped to prepping, even the air starts to feel different. You get a little braver. You start to remember, oh, I don't belong to this place. I belong to myself. Does it ever get better? Yes. But here's the truth that nobody wants to put on a motivational poster. It doesn't get better if you stay in places that keep breaking you down. And I say that with so much love because I know what it is like to sit in the back room of a pharmacy, staring at the wall during your lunch break, wondering if this is just it. Healing doesn't start the day you leave. It starts the day you realize you deserve to. It starts when you stop asking for someone else's permission to feel peace. I wish people knew how much we put up with. Let's say it loud. Pharmacy techs are the backbone. We are the reason scripts are filled, the reason patients get their meds on time, the reason inventory is managed, records are accurate, chaos doesn't spill over. We deal with metrics that move like goalposts, customers that treat us like punching bags, pharmacists that forget we are human, owners that care more about numbers than names. And through all that, we still show up. So if you're listening right now and feeling invisible, I see you. And I want you to hear this. Your story matters. Even if you tell it anonymously, even if it's just to me, even if you whisper it to a journal, your voice is proof that what you carry is real. You can submit your story anonymously through the link in the description, or share it with me directly on Instagram, Facebook, or in my Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered group. Let's stop suffering in silence. Let's start being heard. We are treated like robots, not people. That one cuts deep, because this is where burnout grows. Not just from the workload, but from the way you start treating yourself. When your workplace trains you to move faster, care less, and never take a breath, you start ignoring your own body. You stop asking, "Am I okay?" And you start asking, "Did I get enough done?" That's not just dehumanizing, it's dangerous, because over time, your nervous system forgets what safety feels like. Rest starts feel like laziness. Boundaries feel like disobedience, and silence feels like failure. But you, my friend, you deserve to be a person again, to take a full breath, to eat real meal, to have a Sunday where you don't feel like you are gearing up for war. And if no one else has told you today, you are not a machine. You are a person with a nervous system, a breaking point, and a future that still belongs to you. This is what this podcast is for, to help you remember who you were before the system got to you, and to remind you that you don't have to stay small just to stay safe. We are not done yet. Next up, I'll walk you through exactly how to start planning your next exit without panicking, ghosting, or giving up your power. Take a breath. You are not alone in this. Now, here is the truth I want to leave you with. Feeling stuck? Feeling like you can't leave? You're not alone. And that doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're human. And it's harder to walk away than most people realize. Here is the good news. Leaving doesn't have to be a whirlwind of guilt and doubt. There is a way to do this smarter, with your dignity and your sanity intact. So let me share some simple steps, tools I've learned through my own healing journey to help you get out of the trap for good. How to actually leave without drowning in guilt or second-guessing yourself. First, write your resignation letter. Not because you have to send it tomorrow, no pressure, but because putting it down on paper is like telling your brain, "I'm serious about this." It's your commitment whispering, "You deserve better." Then, find one person you trust, someone who gets it. Tell them your plan. Let them hear your truth and mirror it back to you. Sometimes, all we need is to know we are not crazy or alone. Next, pick up that phone or open that email to your new job offer. Or if you haven't landed one yet, start looking urgently, because every day you wait, the weight grows heavier. Now, close your eyes and imagine your next job. Not just the paycheck, but the feeling, the relief, the respect, the chance to breathe again. Hold on to that feeling. Let it push you forward. Set your exit date. Say it out loud. Write it down. Tell your accountability buddy. And here is the key. Don't move it. No more delaying. No more one more week or just a little longer. When the day comes, leave with grace. You don't owe anyone a long speech or justification. A simple, "I'm moving on to a better fit," is enough. Trust me, you are not signing a manifesto. You are reclaiming your life. You are not weak for feeling stuck. You are not broken for staying too long. You've survived the storm. Now it's time to live smarter, not just burned out. If this resonates, or you've been in these shoes, drop me in the comments. Let's start breaking the silence about what pharmacy tech work really feels like. And if you are the one who shared this story anonymously, thank you. Your courage is a lifeline to others. You are not just speaking the truth, you are lighting the way. So if you are feeling stuck right now, whether it's because of a toxic boss, endless burnout, or that fear of change, just know you can get out. It won't be easy, but every small step you take builds your path forward. And remember, your story matters. If you've been through something similar, or you are just living it right now, I'd love to hear from you. You can submit your story anonymously. There is a link in the description. Or head over to my Facebook, Instagram, or Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered group. Your voice might be the one that helps someone else finally feel seen. If this episode spoke to you, please subscribe so you don't miss out on the next ones. And follow me for real talk, practical tools, and no fluff support for pharmacy techs ready to take their power back. Speaking of next episodes, episode 10 is coming up and it's a special milestone. I'm opening up about my own journey from pharmacy tech to a quality professional in biopharma and clinical research. It's raw, honest, and packed with lessons I learned along the way. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for listening, for being brave, and for choosing yourself. Until next time, I'm Elena Rutka, and this is Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered.